All right, hockey fans, we've got another video today. Lots of stuff going on in the first couple weeks of the NHL season. Some surprise teams, some surprise things, or as usual, some stupidness as well. The first thing I want to talk about is a little bit of stupidness, and that is this just absolute outrage over the hit on Pettersson. Let's take a look at it. Now, ultimately, it's a rough by the rules in the NHL. Now, the NHL tippy-toed around that by calling it an unsportsmanlike, which gives them kind of free rein to say whatever. But at the end of the day, there's a 160-pound guy. He gets hit, and he gets pushed down. That's the way she goes. I'd give him a rough and call 2 minutes. That's it. And the only reason anyone cares is because it's Pettersson. If it was a fourth liner or some new guy, no one would say a word. I know that for a fact. But because it was Pettersson and he's all hyped up, we got to give this guy a suspension. At the end of the day, I go back to it every single time. If there was no instigator and there were enforcers, guys wouldn't take liberties on star players anyway because they know they'd get their face punched. So whatever. This is the NHL's problem. They're solving their own problem with their own bad solutions. None of it makes any sense. Again, clean hit, and he's off his feet from the hit. So he was landing on his bum anyway, and it's not Matheson's fault that he gives him a shove, in my opinion. I mean, maybe you give him the rough, but that's the max. So, the big thing that's really surprised me this year is Montreal's start. We'll see if they can sustain it, but nobody really thought they'd be much of anything, especially putting the puck in the net the way they are. So, with a hot start for the Canadiens, we are wondering what's going down there, and so what got these guys going so well. So let's bring our Montreal correspondent, Mathieu Hurluberlu. Matthew, it's been a while. How are you?
Hey, pretty good, I have to say. Before this season, I could not believe that bum Bergevin was still the manager. I expected him to be assassinated after off-season.
Well, that's a pretty harsh sentiment, Matthew. I mean, are you sure that would help anything?
Well, today is better than yesterday. The team is skating, the team is scoring, and the team is looking competitive.
So, with that being said, what do you think are reasonable expectations for the Canadiens this season?
The only expectation every year, and you know this, is the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, but is that realistic?
Why not? It is realistic that anyone will watch your videos.
Oh, that was uncalled for.
Canadians are the best team ever in the world to exist. Any sport.
Okay, so what do they need to do to leapfrog Boston, Tampa, Toronto, and be the best team to exist?
We like to say about the game, Simon ton 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 sera tondu.
Well, what does that mean?
That means if my uncle shaves your uncle will be shaved.
Well, I'm a little... So are you saying if the team wins, they beat the other team?
You take it for what you think.
Any other details, Matt?
Oh, don't worry. Your show will get better. Avoir,
okay,
look
well,
at
thanks
fun.
for the insight. Will you come back later on this season, and after a few more games take place, and maybe we can speak in a little more detail about the club.
Zoutalors, I am stuck with you now!
All right. Well, that was Mathieu Hurluberlu. At the end of the day, the Montreal Canadiens are surprising people. I don't think it's going to last. Personally, I think they're small. As the year goes on, guys are going to start getting hit, and that's just what's going to end up happening. And I don't see Montreal finishing anywhere other than 6th or 7th in the division. That's just me. Other surprises. Carolina getting good tending, and with little Aho leading with 11 points right now. Drafted in 2015, he's coming into his own. But again, he's another one of these tiny little guys. And it's going to get tougher as the year goes on for him. I know there's other small guys too, but come playoff time, you're going to get rocked. So it'd be nice to see if he's able to sustain the success. I don't see him a point-a-game player by the end of the year, but who knows? I mean, he's pretty good. No one's surprised with Nashville, but the Ducks really thought losing Perry would have a bigger impact. Maybe it will still, but they're going to win with their D and their goaltending, and Gibson's been a beast. They're scoring by committee. That's the situation in Anaheim that's got them at the top of the division. Again, is it sustainable? We'll have to see. This. At least one or two of the surprises this year are going to sustain. That always happens. There's always someone. But we'll have to just wait and see what happens. All right, so Matthews is the first NHLer to amass 16 points in 7 games to open a season. And that's in the salary cap era since 2005. That's pretty unbelievable. And in the last 30 years, according to Sportsnet, it's Lemieux, Gretzky, Stevens, Sakic, LaFontaine, and Makarov have produced at least this many and this quickly. And that's pretty unbelievable to see. How long he can sustain it is anyone's guess. He's got 2 points a game minimum every game. Obviously, he's not going to get 175 points, but 100 is looking more and more realistic. 50 and 50, 50 goals, 50 assists. I think it's possible. As far as the changes to the lineups and the team and everything going on so far this year, Kapanen is a better fit. He's a better fit for Matthews. He's better defensively. He's faster than William Nylander. He really makes that line really hard to play against. He's more physical than Nylander. I think he's, in the end, going to be a better overall player, although Nylander might have more flash in the offensive end. Kapanen does it all. He's a better all-around player. And again, the speed is phenomenal. So I think keep him there if and when Nylander comes back. The scoring is getting more balanced. We're seeing other guys put the puck in the net. We've seen Levo. We've seen Lindholm. So this is good. Things are getting more balanced. You're not always relying on the same guys all the time, although those guys are still contributing as well. And it was nice to see a good defensive game against LA, only allowing the 1 goal. Sparks played really well, but they didn't allow a ton of shots. Things are getting better. Until next time, keep real.
Шайбу в сетку, а вот еще какой момент! Ну! Вот это просто безумие! Сменился Бабков, и из чужой зоны атаки «Авангард» поражает свои собственные ворота. 3-3. Сейчас нужно понять, кто там последним из хоккеистов.